Welcome to this spine-chilling explainer. We're going to unravel an agonizing journey that kicks off with a desperate, late-night train ride and descends into, well, unimaginable psychological terror. Let's just dive right in. We're starting our descent into the suspense with a really haunting thought. Think about this. What if the destination you're rushing towards is actually a trap set by the dark? It completely flips the idea of a simple journey on its head, right? It sets this incredibly dreadful tone for what our protagonist is about to go through. Let's map out this timeline of dread for our guy Arjun. He's rushing to his grandfather's village of Bhanpur. Picture this. He steps off his train into a freezing, completely desolate station exactly at the witching hour, 2 a.m. This precise timing, it's crucial. It marks his exit from the safe, bustling world of the city and his entry into something far, far more sinister. The sensory deprivation here is immediate, and honestly, it's suffocating. The station road is entirely empty. No autos, no people. Just howling wind and a sickly yellow glow. It leaves Arjun with absolutely no choice but to walk on foot into this unnerving, heavy silence. The darkness here paints a picture of a place where even the silence itself seems to make a sound. Moving into our next chapter, The Strange Guide, and A Walk with the Unknown. As Arjun's paranoia really starts building in the shadows, he encounters this truly bizarre figure. It's an old man with glowing eyes wearing a red dhoti kurta who mysteriously offers to guide him through the pitch-black night. And when Arjun mentions, that he's never seen the man before, he gets a wildly chilling response. Those who return late are the only ones who can see me. The old man's cryptic, terrifying dialogue immediately raises all the red flags. It plants the seed of deep unease as their footsteps echo down that lonely path. It forces us to ask, is this guide even human? Which brings us to the haunted tea stall, a brief pause in the abyss. Out of nowhere, a flickering, trembling lantern reveals this dilapidated tea stall deep in the woods. But wait, it's occupied by an eerily quiet old woman slowly sipping from a clay cup, and a silent, unmoving man. Now, when Arjun asks why on earth anyone is awake at this hour, the mysterious tea seller delivers a terrifying warning. She says, "The night waits for them." And this just brilliantly illustrates that Arjun hasn't just stumbled upon this haunted crossroad by accident. He was expected. Suddenly, the environment itself reacts to his dread. The wind howls, the lantern violently flickers, and then the distinct, haunting sound of a woman crying in the pitch-black trees completely shatters Arjun's fragile nerves. The strangers just dismiss it as a trick of the wind, but you can feel it. The suspense is absolutely suffocating now. The old guide points the way forward to the village with one final, bone-chilling instruction. He tells him, keep walking straight, but don't look back. This forces Arjun to flee blindly through the dark without daring to check what unseen horror might be pursuing him. The guide literally warns that some things are only meant to be seen from behind. Talk about a nightmare. Next up, a grandfather's warning, where safety is just an illusion. Barely reaching the safety of his grandfather's house, Arjun breathlessly recounts his terrifying journey. But instead of offering any comfort, his story brings absolute pale terror to the old man's face. The grandfather reveals the horrifying truth about the unholy path Arjun just walked. He states plainly, almost paralyzed with fear, that no one goes on that road after dark. He quickly locks the doors and refuses to speak another word until daylight. So the suspense just lingers. The nightmare isn't over just because he's indoors. Now we shift to the estranged friend and returning to the past. The very next day, desperate to just anchor himself in some kind of normalcy, Arjun decides to visit his estranged childhood friend, Mukesh, a guy he hasn't spoken to in years. Notice the stark psychological contrast here. We've got these bright, innocent childhood memories of running in sunlit fields, but that's smashed right up against the deeply unsettling, shadowy reality of Mukesh's isolated, eerily quiet ancestral home today. It's totally jarring. It really begs the question, why on earth was Mukesh's massive house so completely empty? Mukesh casually claims his family is just away visiting, but the stagnant air, an unnatural smell, and this profound, heavy emptiness, it makes Arjun feel like he's trapped in a cage. The horror spirals right back into madness that night. 2 a.m., a bizarre smell, And then, the exact same disembodied sobbing of a woman from the dark woods echoing inside Mukesh's house. The suspense here is so brilliantly crafted because the outdoor threat has officially invaded the indoor sanctuary. Nowhere is safe. This brings us to the locked room opening Pandora's box. While wandering the silent, oppressive hallways to find the source of that crying, Arjun's eyes are drawn to a door. It's covered in thick dust, clearly untouched for years, yet it's practically beckoning him closer. Let's walk through the agonizingly slow, suspenseful steps of breaking that silence. Imagine grasping the cold, frozen handle, wiping away those thick layers of dead dust, and pushing open that creaking door into the suffocating dark. Inside, he finds a bizarre, chaotic shrine to Mukesh's childhood obsession. Dozens of paintings cover every single inch of the decaying walls, creating this dizzying atmosphere of dread. The innocence of the artwork completely clashes with the overwhelming, suffocating energy of the sealed room. It's incredibly unsettling. But amidst that undisturbed dust and endless paintings staring back at him, his eyes inevitably lock onto something else. 3 distinct framed photographs hanging prominently in the shadows on the far wall. So what triggers absolute primal terror? Well, whatever is trapped in those frames causes Arjun to let out a blood-curdling scream, literally turn on his heels, and sprint desperately out of the house into the pitch-black village streets without ever looking back. It's a frantic, breathless sprint back to his grandfather's house in the dead of night. With his heart just pounding against his ribs, Arjun frantically flees the unseen horror. He stumbles blindly through the dark until he finally collapses at his terrified grandfather's door. Inside, as a trembling Arjun tries to explain the nightmare, his grandfather demands to know specifically whose faces were in those photos. Arjun describes the first 2 images fine, but when he tries to name the third, his voice vanishes completely. Let's break down exactly what happened here. It's called terror-induced aphasia. This is when the human mind experiences a psychological horror so profound, it physically revokes the body's ability to speak. The sheer psychological weight of that final, horrifying image literally steals Arjun's voice. He opens his mouth in pure terror, but only empty air escapes. And we are left breathless in the dark with this haunting, unresolved mystery. What did Arjun actually see in the third picture? It is a masterful display of suspense that is going to stay with you long after this explainer comes to its horrifying end. Thank you